Hello, welcome to Online Video Guides. My name's Dan. In this video I'm going to show you how to make one of these. It's a little mousey. It's even a little mousey. Anyway, put that to one side. The paper I'm using is cut down from an A4 sheet of paper, so it's about 19 centimeters by 19 centimeters, and it is square. Our first folds are going to be two center folds, diagonal lines. Fold it in half. Now we undo that one. Turn it and fold it in half again. This is pre-folded because I keep mucking this up. We've got the two diagonal lines, and we're going to use those two lines to make a kite shape. So at one point we fold the outside edge into the center line, and then we do the opposite one. So we have our kite shape. Now I need two center lines, one center line for the entire length and one center line for the tail to the little flaps just here. So we're going to do our halfway fold, and then we're going to do that. I'm going to do our halfway from the tail to the flaps, fold that, and unfold that. Turn it so your point's at the top. This bit's going to be the head, and we're going to make ears out of this bit here, and this is going to be its tail. So anyway, we've got our one halfway fold there and one halfway fold there. The top one, we want to make two diagonal lines from the start of this top one up to this edge here. So what we're going to do with this edge here, holding the end of this center line that we've made, we're going to fold the tail up so both those two lines are on top of each other, and it ends at the center line we made earlier. Put that flat, and then we're going to do the same thing the other side. That's our line. We fold that up so the two lines are next to each other like that, and then we unfold that one. So now we've got our two diagonal lines here. With these diagonal lines, what we're going to do is we're going to put a finger in here, and that fold there that we've made, and this line here, we're going to push just that piece over flat on itself, and then work our way around and push the rest of that flat. So you should have something that shape. And then we're going to fold half of it back across along the center line. You'll see how far up the fold's got to go. You can't go any further. So then we undo that, put it back into the kite shape, and we do the same thing on the opposite side. We put a finger inside it. That's our diagonal line we made, and that's our center line we made. And I'm going to put that flat and push this whole piece flat again. And we see we've got the same shape again, but the opposite way around. So then we're going to fold this bit up along our center line just here, as far as we can go again. This time we're not going to undo this side, but we're going to redo this side. So let's pick this piece out and fold that bit over. So now we've got those two bits have both been pulled down and pushed flat. And we've got this bit on the top, which just to make it better, we fold it both ways flat, and then we should be able to put a finger inside it and push it flat. So we've got a square at the top, like that. Now we've got that, we're going to make its head and its ears out of this part. So inside this, we can fold this top part of this flap over, so both the points meet at the top. And now we should have, well, it's starting to look like a mouse or a priest in a coat. Anyway, so now we folded that top flap up, and we want to fold one of these flaps all the way over. Now I've got the bum in the air, its head towards me. The top flap, so we've got our two flaps on one side. The top flap, you want to fold halfway across to the center line, like that. And then just fold that whole flap back over. So now we've got the second flap. We fold that on top of that one. and turn it around to make it easier. And we fold that one halfway to the centre as well. And then we fold that one back over, so we've got one flap on each side and it's folded underneath itself. I'm starting to make some ears now. Our next bit would be these two flaps here need to be folded up on top of what we've just made. We do that one and then we do that one and then unfold that. You pick these two bits up a little bit like that, and then pick the other two flaps up as well. You can start to see an excess bit of paper just there. That's going to be our ear. So if I hold these two up, push those two up like that, they're going to be our ears. So what we need to do is push that up and push that one down at the same time and put diagonal folds in there, and then we can push that ear flat like that. Let's do it again this side. Push that up so they meet, and then we've just got this extra bit just here, and put a finger in there and push that flat. There are our ears. A little bit of a squeezy pokery and they stick out nicely. So anyway, let's do its bum. First things we need to do is turn it all the way over. Just make sure it goes flat so I don't break anything. All the way over like that. And from this point here, we're going to fold to the centre line, all the way up. Turn it round and we do the other centre, the other side to the centre line. So we're making his tail a bit thinner. Right, so we turn it back over. And where these two flaps come to the bottom, we're going to fold them up at right angles, both sides. So we make part of a square, and then we tuck those inside themselves. Like that. What we're going to do now is we're going to start putting the tail folds in. So what we want to do is we want to create a line from here to here. So halfway along that section there, from our centre line to the bottom, and halfway from our centre line to where it meets the edge, just there. So to do that, I would pick it up, the whole thing up like that. Using this edge here, I do find my fold there, and that put them together and squeeze it all the way down to the centre line. And do that. And we'll do it the opposite on the same side, the other side. Put those two bits together, squeeze that all the way down to the centre line, and then undo it. So if we squash it flat and we fold our mouse in half, he won't mind. Won't feel a thing. Now with those two folds that we've just made, we can push the whole thing underneath itself like that, and then put it back in half. His tail is inside himself right now. Those two diagonal lines we made putting the square inside itself are now going to be where we fold again the opposite way to where you folded the tail the first time. So now his tail faces inwards, not outwards even. Looks more like a snail right now. Anyway, if you look inside the tail, we've got the two sides of the tail. What we're going to do is fold half of this inside itself, both sides. And leave it on the inside. Let's do the other side. Fold that inside itself like that. And just to make it all a bit firmer, where those two triangles are at the top, squish them flat like that, and then we squish the whole tail flat. So now the tail is a little bit off the floor. So do a little bit of a tension on his ears, open his ears back up like that, make his face, and there we have our mouse. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe. I should be putting more videos up regularly. If you have any constructive comments, please leave them. They'll always be welcomed.